Hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon.
Yo, VI, play the beat.
Well, hello, Taurus moon. We haven't shuffled. We're setting up. We're getting ready. I have Sky Daddy Choker stuck in my head since I woke up this morning, or at least sometime as we were getting through our morning business. But I turned the deck, flipped it out, and the devil was hanging out on the bottom. I was like, oh, Choker is a message. Okay, there is a restriction going on. There is a deep-rooted fear and anxiety that is choking us out, literally preventing us or holding us back from speech. There's something to be said about collaring your dog, your shadow, but at the same time, if it's too tight, you're abusing the dog. So it's a bit of a horse apiece on whether this is a positive message or a negative message, or if there really truly is such a thing as positive or negative, and maybe it's just a thing that exists, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Yeah, I think it's understanding and giving enough compassion to your shadow to know when and where to collar it, and when it is being restricted and restrained in a way that is unhealthy, not good for us or anyone else around us. I feel like there's something, Two of Pentacles doesn't want to leave either. There's something that we're standing on, but it's like we're standing on both sides of the line. We haven't quite reached that gate yet. It's like we're trying to sneak past an audience, an auditorium of people, and we're center stage with the spotlight on us. How can I disappear from this? Now I want to pull the Magician card. But I pulled the Ten of Wands. We have to make light. Be light. It's easy to be weighed down by our struggles, by our anxiety. It's easy to hold ourselves back. But I think it's time to lighten up a little bit. Take it easy, chill out. We have the Tower and the Four Pentacles on either side. So conflicting, so conflicted. Oh, where are you? You look like a dragonfly. Maybe I was just hoping to see a dragonfly. I'm still shuffling. We're still like looking for it. That doorway, that gateway, that opening, that opportunity. But like I said, I really just feel like the only answer is to like poof, drop a smoke cloud. Also watched Sonic 3 with my kids last night, so the playing with the gravity is really sticking out in my mind, like getting pulled down to the floor or lifted up. In either situation, you don't have enough control because you're not evenly balanced to the gravity that you're experiencing, the gravity of the room that you are experiencing. We need that supercharge up to release ourselves. We need that extra strength that superhuman power that we all have. It's called adrenaline. People with cars. Okay. Two of Pentacles. I really want you to just knock out there. Knock that one out. Now I'm kind of playing like, I want to say ping pong, but I'm thinking of pinball. I'm thinking of pinball. Sonic. Okay. Sonic. We're playing Sonic Spinball right now. And we're just kind of batting things around, pushing and moving against the energy and trying to summon that extra power within ourselves to bring this heavy water to float. I know this is supposed to be about the man, but I'm more concerned with the turtle. I'm more concerned with the turtle, actually, and his ability to emerge and submerge more naturally because it's his environment. So the variance in the gravity or the weight of being under heavy waters doesn't affect this turtle as much. Why did I turn that? How did I, like this isn't about the man, and then I turned this. Didn't even notice when I did that. It's not about you, dude. It's about the turtle. Although, like, actually, the front of his shirt has taken on the imagery of the turtle's back. I know it's like flowers or whatever, but from the camera distance, it kind of looks like he's taken on that turtle shell. And now we've gone from Sonic Spinball to Minecraft, and we have like the turtle shell helmet that helps you breathe underwater. So we're learning from the environment, we're learning from the nature around us how to stand tall, not to be so light that we float up above everybody else on the clouds, but not to be so heavy that we're just stuck crawling on the ground, completely helpless. It's about standing firm even in the middle of the ocean and rising above those waters. Coming up and out. Trudging. I like it. It's a science, it's a math, and it's an experiment. Try not to talk so fast that I start talking over myself. Practicing that back and forth. Too fast, not fast enough. Just right? Just right? World in the Ten of Pentacles, top and bottom. Two stacks, left or right. A little chilly this morning. It's like 52 degrees. It was like 52 degrees this morning. That feels cold now. I'm gonna go right. We're gonna go right. I'm gonna take the Wheel of Fortune, this Page of Pentacles, this Five of Cups, and Judgment. And start here. Down. Sorry, I'm just staring at this. Like I'm seeing multiple characters again. This is spanning out from the individual into the masses. These are different walks of life, all moving in synchronization. So we have some hopefuls coming out with a dream and a little bit to work with. We have some that are coming out of deep emotional pain, heartbreak, and struggle, land and sea. And we have those out in the middle of the desert, no water whatsoever. dried out and naked. But here, bearing and presenting what they have and what they are. And they're all turning and moving in synchronization. The summoning, this is a sleep token song too. The summoning. But yeah, it's a call, an echo. It's a vibrational vocal expression that draws in and brings up and brings out and brings together all of these different people, perspectives, places, and things from every possible extreme of land, sea, and desert. And it's drawing them all together. This could also be aspects of yourself. Can I get you close enough to see what's inside of that wheel? It is our directional source. It's pulling together all of the people that we have been in, all of the different extreme situations that we have experienced, and taking all of that knowledge and all of those programs, positive or negative, and putting them into one solid turning wheel. Because we walked through each extreme to one level or another within our own scope and experience. We've been higher than the highest high. We've been deep under our emotions, and we've been without emotional connection. We've experienced all of these things, the droughts, the floods, the highest highs and the lowest lows. And each one of those situations and circumstances called for a different direction, called for a different action. And our shadow, as well as our higher self, has learned through experience what works and what doesn't for each particular situation. We've sorted out and figured out that we can't take the actions that we would take from the time that we were in the desert and utilize those programs to help us when we're swimming under those waters. We can't take the abilities and skills that we've learned diving deep into our own emotional selves, into the high altitude and the thin air of the highest mountains that we have climbed. So bringing all of that knowledge and awareness together into one formulated wheel is how we take control of our fate, of our destiny. Our programs are no longer running us, but we are running our programs. And once we map that out, come to that realization, understanding of the cyclical cycle and the appropriate times to press harder on the gas and maybe take a little break. All of those things is what's going to give us the patience and the grounding and the ability to actually start building and growing and prospering. We sat with ourselves long enough to learn what makes our sun come up and how we can illuminate ourselves and our environment, make it lighter, make ourselves lighter when it is dark, and to darken ourselves when things are too light, too bright, too high, too out of control. Why is it make or break? Why is make or break in my head? Can't stop hearing it. It's a make or break moment. This one's for all the marbles. This is really the it of it. This is it. This is it. Like, I don't know if it's telling me like this is it for the reading and we're done, or if it's just like this is it. This is the opportunity. This is the chance. This is um, this is building that ship and getting on board and pushing off into that next chapter journey. Progression. Why obsession? I don't want to hear that. No, try not to get swallowed by obsession. Allow yourself to entertain without being overwhelmed. Back to Sky Daddy. Okay, back to Choker. The concepts of intrusive thoughts. Having thoughts, ideas inside your head that are just way too extreme that they scare you, and learning how to sit with those things and entertain them in a way that is entertaining, because we know ourselves well enough to know that, like, I wouldn't actually do that, but right now my psyche needs to process this in this way because something about this situation makes me want to kill it. Not the person, not myself, but this situation should die. So that's what that means when we're going through that inner head. We don't have to take it so far as to this is a thing that is driving our force, this is our action, this is the only way, is to, you know, bark and bite our way out of this like a wild rabid dog. But we can feel that way inside, and we can accept that about ourselves, and we can sit with that in comfort and knowing that we are just trying to help ourselves to understand what is happening and tell ourselves, like, we don't like this, we don't want to do this. Just so you know, this is pulling me down, this is weighing me down, this is too so much that it is making me rabid. Maybe this situation, this place, this space that is creating these emotions just isn't right for me. Maybe I shouldn't be here if I feel this way. And you might notice that those kinds of thoughts start to drift away, the more distance you put between yourself and these burdens. I know, I know. Oh, look at all those desires attached in there. Look at them. Oh, but they look so nice. They look so comforting. Can't I just? Hold on, I'm gonna anxiety trip. Okay, we're cool. We're cool. We're good. We're fine. It's all good. Yeah, look at all those desires. Look at all that stuff. It looks so nice. Can't we just get under these desires for just a little bit longer? Please. No. No, you can't. It's pulling you down. It's pulling you under. It is drowning you out. You're drowning yourself out. You're drowning your own intuition out. Okay, hold on. Turn that and we're gonna display. It's you. You. A cast of yourself that's driving you, telling you that you need to do these things. You don't. Not actually. You can find ways to replace those bad habits. You can find ways to change your programming. But you might have to shift and change your environment just a little bit to do it. Because the Queen of Wands on the top of the deck tells us we are all that we need. Our desires, our passions do not rule us. We rule them. We are in control of what it is that we want. We may think that we want what we want when we want it, but we're coming to the realization that, as okay as it is to want what you want, there's no point in putting yourself in a bad situation to get it, because that is only going to contribute to the weight and the burden and the struggle of what that thing really is and does to you, how that really pulls you down, how that really pulls you under. But taking control with compassion and understanding not just whipping stuff around, not just bluntly hitting stuff over the head. Well, like I'm seeing the King of Wands at like playing whack-a-mole. There's a lot of arcade style stuff going on in the brain. I think we really need to embrace the inner child and go to an arcade. That might be good for me, you, all of us, just to like go back to that time for a moment, a day, a time, a section of our lives and be like, oh, right, simple joys and pleasures. Oh, maybe we didn't need all of that extra. Maybe we were just piling on top because our tolerance was getting too high. Maybe we just needed a break. Maybe we just needed to take it easy. That's why we have the queen here to tell us, like, it's okay. It's okay to want what you want, but that doesn't mean that you have to take all of it all at once. That doesn't mean that you have to weigh yourself down and allow yourself to be tied up and tied to these attachments. We can unravel that rope. We can unleash and unchain without fear that our shadow, that our dog is going to get loose and go crazy. No, because we're at a dog park. We took ourselves to a dog park. We changed our environment. And now we can just let it be and run around and have fun and just be a regular dog with other dogs. And we don't have to worry about barking and biting because nobody's barking or biting here right now. There's nothing in this space that's going to trigger that kind of reaction. And that is so good for your shadow, to put yourself in an environment where you're not being triggered. Maybe don't go there if it triggers you. Maybe don't go there if it sets you off, if it pulls you down, if it weighs you. Remember that we're not trying to fly so high that we just float above everybody and everything. Like, oh, I'm so wonderful. But at the same time, you don't have to go. You don't have to. It's all about how you look at it. It's all about that position, the onlookers, the audience. There's people watching. What are you doing up there? Why are you doing that? The audience is both a blessing and a curse. Eyes watching us is both a favor and a punishment of some kind. Like, I feel like some people are watching us do this just to watch us squirm, and some people are watching us to learn how we're doing what we're doing. I didn't know that the human body could bend in that way. I didn't know you could just like twist in that particular like fashion. I have a strong urge to just start doing contortion right here, right now. Can we just start getting really bendy with it? Oh, let's just make it a little bit more movable. I know we're in Taurus, and I think that's probably that rigidity that I'm feeling, but something about it, maybe because I'm in, yeah, something about it still gives me that vibe of change, of adjustment, of movement, shifting. We are within our confines, within our restrictions, learning how we can be more flexible with ourselves and others around us. You don't have to go back to that place that makes you feel burdened today. You might have to go back tomorrow. You might have an obligation where you got to go back at some point in time. But that doesn't mean that we can't find a little wiggle room. We're taking that turn. We're taking the rope that bound us to our desires and these wands, and we've used the materials in a different way to create our own gate, our own portal to enlightenment and understanding. And Yeah, not everybody's going to get that. I think some people are and some people aren't. And we can't really be too bothered by who's here to learn and who's here to just watch us squirm looking at the snake. That can I do that? Is it light enough? Bright enough? A little snake right there hanging out under the sky. And there's like the comedy and tragedy masks over here. A lot of people are just here for the drama. They're just here for the suspense. They're just here to get their jollies going. But we can end anytime we want. We can close this out anytime we want to. All we have to do is start putting these pieces together. Start learning how to be light when we need to be lighter, and learning how to densify when we need to be solid. Putting down all of the extra concerns. 10 wands to 10 swords. It just doesn't get any deader than this. You know, maybe those passions, those desires were just thoughts that need to be put somewhere. And maybe once we place them, we were finally able to reach that point of transformation where we're no longer this armored warrior out in the battleground fighting with everyone and everything all of the time. Everything against us. Oh, yeah, maybe we can just take all that and put it down. Maybe we don't need that anymore. Or maybe we do. But I don't think we need this much. You don't need such a heavy defense. Maybe we can just be. Allow yourself to just be, even if it's only for a moment, because those moments will accumulate the more you ritualize them, the more that you put them into your cycle and turn yourself with the wheel of progression. Okay, I think we can end here. I think we can quit, right? We can stop. We don't need to push harder. We don't need to go longer. We need to evaluate, process, and learn how to bend and turn. Interesting image that I saw that was not in this card. But we hold the secrets to true life and death within our hands. It's a complete change in position. It's like a whole new person, but at the same time, it is the equivocal balance. Like we've got the mountaintop, the waters, the fields, the valleys. It's all coming together now in perfect balance rather than existing in those extreme spaces. We're pulling it closer to be a little bit more harmonized and a little bit less dramatic. Putting everything on an even keel. We're working it out, kids. Keep going through this Taurus moon. Whatever comes up, whatever comes down, whatever knocks us around, let it move itself back to center and just observe. Rather than participating, rather than overindulging or reaching for something, just let it bounce back and forth for a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of time and space and see if you can't bend and mold and transmute that energy into something that serves you better. It may not please the audience, but it's going to help you to understand what moves you can truly make to adjust. Because we're not miracle workers. We can't just wake up and be somebody else tomorrow. Sorry, you're going to wake up and you're still going to be you. You're still going to have your experiences. You're still going to have your programs. And we can't just erase that. But we can reprogram that. we can move forward and change things. Little by little, putting those swords down, putting those wands down, putting down the water, letting it subside. We're going to be just fine, kids. We're almost to shore. From whichever direction you're coming from, we're getting closer. We're building and we're growing. Keep fortifying yourself, and the foundation will find you. Thanks, kids. Have a great moon. We'll see you next time.